the extent to which Article 199 applies. And there is carve out.
Mr. Attorney General, I mean, looking at 55, I mean, we might lose ourselves in the grammar of it, but larger than that is perhaps the word enlargement.
Yes.
And what is actually happening? You're enlarging the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. It requires no extent because it is a positive thing that you're just adding to the Supreme Court's jurisdiction. So वो उसके साथ पढ़ना मतलब उसके कोई
मेरी रिस्पेक्टफुल सबमिशन है कि नहीं पढ़ना होगा बिकॉज वो फिर काउंटर इंट्यूटिव है वो इसलिए भी काउंटर इंट्यूटिव है कि देयर इज नथिंग इन 184 185 185 में क्लॉज 2D है which says that through an act of parliament आप उसको ऊपर ले जाएं उस अमाउंट को या रिव्यू के अंदर
इसको आप इस तरह दोबारा मैं
तो इसलिए there is nothing जो प्रोवाइड कर रहा है कि एक्सटेंड क्या है whereas in the case of high courts for example there is an extent which is provided for the administrative tribunals also there is an extent which is provided
powers of all courts except the Supreme Court with respect to any of the matters in this list and to such extent as is expressly authorized by or under the Constitution full stop आप इस तरह पढ़ रहे हैं उसको
मैं इसको जी हाँ
इसमें surely on this grammatically speaking for myself there is an expectation कि इसके बाद भी कुछ आएगा अगर and हो ना तो उसके बाद एक expectation है and to such extent as is expressly authorized by or under the Constitution full stop creates a vacuum because there is an expectation to such extent as is expressly authorized by or under the Constitution what
yes so you
लेकिन तो आपका and जो है ना
इसको एक सेकंड के लिए इसको डिफरेंटली
मैं आपकी बात समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं
मैं आपको समझाने की
and में ये प्रॉब्लम है अगर and इस तरह से रखते हैं ना and निकाल दें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है
इसको जरा इस तरह से पढ़े and की निकालने की जरूरत and क्यों जरूरत है and को रखना so let's just read it again jurisdiction and power of all courts with respect to any of the matters in this list let's take a pause here all courts matters in the list and then and to such extent as is expressly authorized by or under the Constitution full stop so my submission is that this language and the express authorization is necessary because 199 applies the constitutional jurisdiction of high courts in terms of territory of course but then there is a carve out the persons to whom this jurisdiction can be applied and then 212 article 212
do we need a professor do we need to make amicus a professor of the English language Mr. Attorney General
my lord
I think we can understand it whatever we understand it to mean and can I just ask you a related question does the Supreme Court have power to enlarge its own jurisdiction yes or no you are saying that Parliament their side is Parliament can only do so through constitutional amendment now I don't know why you are skirting the issue.
The Supreme Court is required to or is bound to act in accordance with the...
It cannot enlarge jurisdiction, correct?
Yes.
How has the Supreme Court enlarged its jurisdiction in cases decided by 3-member benches, by adding on benches, and which jurisdiction was assumed then? There have been recent examples of the Supreme Court creating, not just enlarging jurisdiction, but creating jurisdiction not envisaged in the Constitution. But those are sensitive matters, so you won't talk about them, correct?
I want to talk something about it. I know, I want to talk something about it. Yeah. And let me just talk about it. And
before you field another question. You can't field 5 questions simultaneously. You have to finish one.
No, I have to field this question and then I'll come back.
Why did they use the word expressly? अगर expressly नहीं भी होता, by or under का यानी इसका मतलब हुआ कि by के लिए भी express होना चाहिए. देखिए by in itself is always express.
वो मेरा इसलिए there are two. Yeah. One is where the Constitution now, when the term by is used, the enactment in this case, the Constitution directly provides for what can and cannot be done. And under is where an additional act is required in an act of parliament.
मैं आपसे एक सवाल इससे आगे जा रहा हूँ. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ